Enjoy reading the story on Manga Funny channel.
In the last episode, we reached the moment where Catherine and Eric were preparing to dance together for the upcoming party. Let's continue from there. Eric's sudden appearance made her feel flustered. She said, "How? Why are you here in my house?" He replied, "I heard about your dance lessons, so I came to take a look. I just wanted to see how much you've improved." She thought, here come his cold and harsh remarks. She remembered, in the past, he acted really disappointed after our dance together. At that moment, Eric asked her, "Catherine, won't you dance with me to one song?" She thought, this is my chance to show off my skills. I'll do it. He replied, "You've already decided? Teacher, please prepare the music for us." They danced to the music, and everything flowed smoothly between them. He's taking the lead so I can dance without any trouble. We're moving around so smoothly, dancing with Prince Eric. Is really fun, he said. You've really improved, as expected of Lady Catherine. She replied, Is that so? I was certain he would make another rude comment about my lack of skills. I can't believe he actually complimented me instead. He said, "Catherine, you'll be attending the Academy's entrance ceremony, right? In that case, let me be the one to choose your dress for the party." He said, "Of course, we'll wear matching outfits." "All right, it's a promise then. I'll come visit again next time." She thought, His Highness Eric wants to get a dress for me? Will it start raining pigs tomorrow? The carriage carrying her stood in front of the palace. It's finally time for the entrance ceremony. I'm feeling a little nervous, she thought, as she dressed in her uniform for the day. I wanted to go to the ceremony with my big brother, but he said, "I've got a student council meeting, so I'll go first. Good luck at the ceremony." I can't believe he left first. It's already been a year since I was reborn as Catherine. I've been living my life knowing that I was reborn. It's a strange feeling. Every time I'm reborn, I'm condemned by my fiancé and face humiliation and death. I'm sure I'll end up the same way this time. Suddenly, Eric's voice called from under the carriage. "Catherine, good morning. I'm here to pick you up." Eric had come as promised, and she thought, "Why? Huh? Did I make a promise to go to the ceremony with Prince Eric?" He said, "What do you mean, why?" "Because I wanted to go with Lady Catherine, of course." "I see that you're ready to leave already. Let me carry that for you." He took her hand and helped her into the carriage, and she felt a sense of familiarity. It looks like Prince Eric's character has changed. Prince Eric has been showing up around me a lot lately. "I came here to see Catherine." That's what he said. He really knows how to use that bright smile to completely knock me out. But the original Prince Eric was not the kind of man who would do such things. He wouldn't even engage in a proper conversation with me back then. What a strange man. "What's the matter, Catherine? You've been staring intensely at me for the last hour. Are you fawning over me?" He's too close. "No, I wasn't looking at you like that. That's a shame. Because I'm always fawning over you, Catherine. I've lost. I can't believe this is my third time falling for the smile of a 3D character. By the way, I heard that you've already memorized all your study materials. One of your instructors was lamenting over it." Lamenting? She's already finished everything. There's nothing left to teach the lady? This one as well. I've already taught this. That's what he said. That's because I already suffered through education once before. Ahem. I still have a long way to go to become a perfect student. Oh, don't be so modest. I feel proud knowing that I'm your fiancé. You're proud of me? Are you embarrassed right now? Are you? No, of course not. I was just shocked by the sudden compliment. In all my years of being a villainess, never once have I heard someone say that to me. That's why those words make me think that he cares about me. But this is still the story in a game. Sooner or later, he will change his mind about me as his fiancé. And yet, His Highness Prince Eric isn't the same as he was back then. I don't think that he'll condemn me or punish me. Could it be that perhaps I've reincarnated as a character that isn't a Duchess of Evil? This time, no, I don't think so. I shouldn't let my guard down. I might be betrayed by God again. Catherine? Yes. To be a fiancé worthy of standing by your side, I'll keep doing my best for you. Prince Eric? Seriously, what has happened to Prince Eric? Please wait in the carriage for some time. Alright, I wonder if something is happening at the front gate? Oh God. Lady Catherine? What's wrong? I'm so sorry, Your Highness. I'm feeling déjà vu. What's that? There's no mistaking it. A petite figure with a small and pretty face, and that pink hair color. As a veteran reincarnated villainess, my gut is telling me that she's definitely depressed. In the previous episode, we left off with Catherine and Eric riding in a carriage to the event. Let's continue from there. As a seasoned reincarnated villainess, I have a feeling she's definitely depressed. Sitting in the carriage, she thought to herself, why do all these heroines have the same pink hair? Do all these games follow a strict design template? Unbiased. Anyway, I'm sure this is the scene where the heroine meets Prince Eric, following the usual game storyline. In the end, I really became another villainous character again. Now the prince will save the heroine from her troubles. I'll meet her and feel jealous too, won't I? And I have to watch them fall in love, don't I? Ugh, what a pain in the ass. This is just your fate. I'm sorry, but I don't feel like playing the villain this time. They're destined to be together, with or without me. So please just leave me alone. But I don't want to face any punishment or unfair treatment, so I should try to leave them with a good impression of me. At that moment, to break the silence in the carriage, she pointed out the window. Your Highness, do you see that? Eric looked in the direction she pointed and replied, yeah, there are a lot of students gathered by the gate. She said, that poor girl is being surrounded by a bunch of men. He replied, yes, I can see that. She said, someone has to stop them, right? He replied, I guess so. With a disappointed look on her face, she thought it. Isn't this the game event where Prince Eric is supposed to save the heroine? But why is he not following that destiny to meet her? He said, that look on your face, it's saying why isn't he going to help her, right? Her face showed anger, and she said, that's right. She thought, oops, was my expression that obvious? Is the game bugging out? It's just so strange that he chose not to help the heroine. He looked at her and said, of course, I think it's heartless not to help her, but we'd attract a lot of attention if we rushed out right now. Let's just wait and see. She thought, what does he mean, wait and see? He said, yeah, but Catherine, I can't believe you're being nice to a woman who isn't me. You'd feel jealous if I helped her, right? She said, it's a pain in the... I just answered, reflexively. What if I get accused of being mean to the cute little heroine? I can't believe I still haven't learned my lesson. He laughed and replied, haha, don't worry, I was just messing around. She replied, my chest hurts for some reason. Maybe you. Meanwhile, inside the large event venue at the castle, people were already gathered, and many were talking. You're talking about Ririna Pilates, right? Do you remember that girl surrounded by boys at the gate this morning? The Baron's daughter? Yeah, that girl. Did you know her mother was a mistress? And I heard her mother was just a commoner, but she passed away recently. That's why the Baron's family took her in. She overheard the gossip and thought, the child of a mistress. Well, that's a very heroine-like origin story. An illegitimate child taken in by a noble family, as expected from such a typical storyline. Illegitimate child, a child not born from the official wife of a nobleman. Marina must have been sent to the academy to maintain appearances and avoid succession issues with the other legitimate children of the family. I can see why they're so excited and gossipy. Marina Pilates is a heroine with an unfortunate background story. It's truly like a miracle. Is it a given that the heroine has an unfavorable origin story? Unbiased, second time. It's just the same old condition of the heroine's daughters I meet every time I reincarnate. Well, whatever. It's the nature of the scenarios I'm living in. I guess there's no choice left. The villainess and the heroine have to be opposites. It's precisely because the heroine has elements that the villainess does not. That's why she's destined to be with the male lead, and I'm destined to be condemned. If this is the same type of game storyline as the previous reincarnations, Marina Pilates is definitely the heroine of this world. Although there was no meeting event between them, Prince Eric definitely recognized her. I can't even imagine how my destiny will turn out. To live a long and peaceful life here, I need to know how His Highness Eric feels about Marina. While she was thinking, Eric came over and asked, "Catherine, let's have lunch together." Her demeanor remained calm, but he said, "Are you rejecting me?" She replied, "Huh? What? Of course not. I'll come. Let's have lunch." Walking behind him, she thought, that was surprising. I didn't expect him to invite me to lunch, but I guess this works for me. I can talk to him about Marina while we eat lunch. Does he realize how loud his food containers are? Just how much did he bring? He'll abandon me in the future, anyway. He doesn't have to push himself like that. Well, I guess I'll just follow his pace. Come to think of it, Catherine was the same in my memories. She was always chasing after Prince Eric's cold back. Never once did he turn back to look at her. He said, "Oh, sorry, I was walking too fast." She thought, the person who never looked back just turned around to look at me? After speaking, he reached out his hand as if wanting her to take it. If we do this, then we can walk together at the same pace, right? Oh, hold on. Isn't Prince Eric acting too perfect for a fiancé? At this point, the two had stepped outside the castle, sitting under the wide canopy of a tree to enjoy lunch. She said, "Your Highness Prince Eric, do you remember the pink-haired young lady at the gate this morning?" He replied, "Yeah." She said, "She's in a different class, but she's the same age as us. She was recently taken in by the Baron's family, and she seems to be having a hard time." I see, she thought. Why doesn't he seem interested in her at all? Is there something wrong with the story? It's so strange that the male lead isn't curious about the heroine at all. What should I do in this situation? He said, "You know, Catherine, I've been meaning to tell you something since this morning. Will you hear me out?" She thought. This sudden seriousness in Prince Eric's tone and mood. Could this be